Hello, I am Lee Nelson B, musician for Lonely Ghost Records, and this is Tellin with Ellen. Here, we will go over recent Lonely Ghost releases, as well as those from affiliated artists, in a quest to get liner notes that you cannot get in a digital era. I hope you enjoy.
All right. All right. So, how do you feel after all this time since Lavender House?
I don't know. I like about this in general.
Oh, like just like
Sorry.
I don't know. Like I guess I get I hold the album in high regard, you
Yeah.
know, and I don't know, like it's like the first like great record that we released, at least in my opinion.
Thank you.
And I think I've mentioned it in almost every single one of my interviews, like Lavender House or just funeral homes in general.
Yeah.
And so like yeah, I mean, what's when you look back at the record now? What comes to mind?
Honestly, I feel like that whole album's kind of like amateurish, just because I feel like a lot of the songs just started as demos. So like a lot of those like they're just me like messing around, just doing things because I had gotten an interface finally. So I was just kind of like recording stuff, and then they ended up being like songs that were actually good enough to put out, I guess. But I still like, I don't know, there's like a certain like nostalgia to them, I feel like, for me, just because a lot of them are like older and remind me of, are about like even like older than they were recorded parts of my life. So it just like reminds me of a different time, I guess.
Because it's like one of our first records that heavily featured like distortion
Yeah, true.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like it's really like our first really like good guitar record.
Yeah.
It contrasts with April Showers, which we released earlier that year, which is more shoegazy
Yeah.
and more down tempo. This is more up tempo
Yeah, for
and
sure.
just more like a straight up rock record.
Yeah. I a lot of the music I was listening to around that time was more like reminiscent of that sound, like for each release. Like whenever I wrote the songs for April Showers, I was definitely listening to a lot more like shoegaze and like a lot of really like slowcore and stuff like that. So it's like really what influenced that sound. And then I would say like just a lot of indie rock influence, the other thing.
Yeah, because I think I told a story on Taylor Ruckle's podcast. But yeah, I first sat down with this record about a year ago. Actually, it was it was January 26th, and I just got off the train to Chicago, and I went to the library and I listened to the record, and I brought my sampler with me, so I I I did cowboy emoji. When immediately after I heard it, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've heard that. Yeah, pretty sure I sent that to you at some point.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll remember doing that because there was a guy watching porn behind me at the library. Like as soon as I get done, like chopping it up and sequencing it, and before I put drums on it, I had to. My friend texted me, "Hey, I'm at the hotel. We can we can go." And I'm like, "Okay, all right." Get up, pack up, look behind me, just a dude in a suit watching Pornhub, and I'm like, "Oh,
It's classy.
I've been in Chicago for 2 hours, and this is what it's all about, huh?" But yeah, and that's one of my favorite songs that I've done. It'd probably be the oldest song on 4.0 once it gets released because
True, yeah.
it's gonna be probably around 2 years old, and once that comes out. But yeah, I definitely relate to having old material and
Yeah.
revisiting that. But yeah, like I feel like your guitar playing is probably a lot better now than it was when the songs were written, though.
Honestly, I'm not sure. Cause like after I wrote that record, I took like probably like almost a year off of playing guitar, and I was just like focusing on like learning how to write, like, or not write, but like make beats and like electronic music. So I got really into that. So I wasn't playing guitar. So I feel like now like picking up guitar again recently, like has been like weird, but
I mean, as far as like, because you mentioned that the songs were old, and when it came time to record them, I imagine,
yeah.
you know, because sometimes you have to wait for skill level. Sometimes you have to wait for equipment to
Yeah.
release material. You know, sometimes you have a song that you just can't do service until it feels right to do it.
Yeah.
But as far as like, oh well, Lavender House, like you go through there's a lot of emotions here in Lavender House. Uh, you know, sonically and lyrically. But yeah, I guess we should get started on Cowboy Emoji.
Okay.
Our aforementioned like this is I hear my remix every time I look at this song now. but but you start off on a not very hopeful thought, and you make sure you punctuate the song on crash and burn. Like what was the motivation behind that?
Well, yeah, I feel like that whole song is like about how things like some things need to end for like other things to like begin, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like bad things happen, but like like better things can come from those bad things that happen to you. And that's kind of like the whole like feeling of that song is supposed to be. And I just really wanted to make like I really wanted a banjo song, so I was just like playing. I started playing that riff on a banjo, and I was like, those are just like the words that came to my head, so that's what I wrote.
I never heard that in DIY. I really wanted a banjo song. And that's one thing I love about your Twitter feed is that I think you share my sort of disdain for the scene that we
Oh
find
yeah,
ourselves
for
in.
sure.
But yeah, that's a very, I mean that's also a very intentional choice. I don't know if it was you or the label's Instagram, but somebody, I believe I saw like somebody like covering it on in like a bathroom mirror or something like that.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I never saw that.
Yeah, it was either like Superdestroyer or the label's Instagram that shared that story, like of somebody just standing in the bathroom mirror playing the banjo.
Huh? That's
Covering
crazy.
cowboy emoji.
It's really easy. Like it's like open notes most the whole time. So, but yeah,
But yeah, it's definitely not a popular instrument. It works really really well.
yeah.
And I was surprised how good it sounded with a chorus effect on it. You know, when I came to when I did the rework of it.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely think it could add to like it definitely adds to this. I guess. I shouldn't say wall of sound because Phil Spector just died, like earlier today, I think. Or
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah, Phil Spector, noted murderer and, and music producer. Yeah, he died. I heard that he died the day that we're recording this, and like Wall of Sound was one of his like landmark technique of producing, where everything in concert gave like this one forward facing sound. It's like a
Yeah.
so. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of things in play in Cowboy Emoji. I think, at least from a production standpoint, like
Yeah.
this album does really well. Now, See Through You. which is my personal favorite song on this record.
That's probably my favorite song too.
And they have a wicked solo on this one,
Yeah.
and as well as important. What is See Through You about?
Honestly, I feel like that song is just about relationships in general. I feel like that one was something like that was like a song I didn't really write specifically for me. It was just kind of like a message that I want to convey. I wrote that song with one of my friends, like in April of that year. It was like the day before or after 420.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to make like a really like gritty like rock like pop song.
This will be right around April showers time, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah, right before that. Yeah.
Mm.
A lot of the songs on Lavender House were written in like that span of time. But yeah. But that is probably my favorite song. I just feel like the progression of the song and the instrumentation is
Yeah, it's very linear, very linear song. And I think I can say the same about important.
yeah.
Which grew on me a lot. I actually wanted to originally do this as a remix, but I couldn't get it right.
True.
Yeah.
That's a song. Yeah, I had that the like instrumental for it, and I like could not figure out what the fuck to like. Wait, can I curse on this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I curse like a lot in my famous shit of you. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't like. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I couldn't like figure out like what I was gonna say for the lyrics over it, and then I just like took like the lyrics to another song I had written, and I just fit it to this song. But that song was honestly like my least favorite. Like it was just kind of I put it there because it was like a song I had that was like pretty decent, and I was like I needed another song. But then it honestly has grown on me also.
But also like this album in general has like the most like lyrics at Funeralhomesss as ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like yeah, usually you're very not necessarily brief, but like very
I feel like the other songs were like more drawn out.
Well, in a more minimal lyrical.
Yeah.
You know, and the emotion is in the music, not necessarily in the lyrics. What was the choice? You know, to actually be more verbose.
I feel like it's just like the style of music I was doing, because like with like the slower like spacier stuff is like I feel like more like abstract and like I don't know, like less like concrete like concepts. I don't know how to, but yeah. For lyrics, yeah, like more like metaphorical lyrics and the more like less literal stuff. I feel like that fit like that kind of like vibe better. But with this, it was just kind of like the songs needed more like a storytelling vibe to them. And I also was just like processing a lot at that time, I feel like personally. So it was like I had a lot more to get out than like before.
Okay, and Dark, which is a song that I've done a lot with actually.
Yeah, I remember you sending me that one too.
Yeah,
that one's good.
And this is actually Superdestroyer doing the vocals for this one.
Yeah, because I had an instrumental and I was like, I like didn't really feel like doing vocals for it because I was like I don't really know what to do. And then John was like, or I probably shouldn't say that. Superdestroyer, like what?
He'll edit the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I remember him saying that he edits these. So that's what I was like. But yeah. I remember sending it to Superdestroyer to like check it out. And he was like, I'll try something out. So then that's how that happened. I like really fucked with what he did. So I was like, yeah, that's cool.
But like just like musically, it's like a complete left turn from the 3 songs before.
True, yeah. Honestly, I was not expecting to use that song either. But it was just, I feel like it's like interesting to have that vibe switch up, you know. It just, I like how like putting it in the middle of the album just kind of like is like a slap in the face for you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
definitely.
interesting.
It definitely breaks up the first and second act
Yeah.
of the record, and I really like it. I actually I don't know if I no I did send you the what did I call it? Now I'm curious.
I know it's on our DMs and Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I literally call it Ellen the Destroyer, or the second version of that I did, and yeah, that fun fact. The second time I touched dark, it was actually done over a George Clinton guitar riff,
Hmm.
like literally George Clinton from Parliament Funkadelic like released like a bunch of like stuff for people to use, and he had this one metal guitar riff, and I'm like, I wonder how dark would sound over this, and yeah, Super Destroyer sent me the stems, and I really. I really that song will be released probably in March or something like that. So yeah, I love that song. And plus you got like I think like half of 4.0, if not by the time it's finished, probably like 30, probably a good like 30, 25, 30% of it is gonna be funeral homes funeral homes redos. And like I wasn't kidding. I could release a funeral homes remix EP like now. I could do that. I have enough funeral homes remixes that I can do
Yeah,
that.
you do for sure.
And before we get into the rest of them, I just want to say, yeah, like you are from where I was born.
Yeah,
I was
I
born
always
in
think
Palm
about how
Bay.
crazy that
Yeah,
is.
I'm from. Yeah, I was born in Palm Bay, Florida,
Yeah.
and back in the mid '80s, and like hearing somebody's from Melbourne, which is like just north, like literally.
Yeah, like
We used to go to that mall when I was like, well,
yeah, that's the mall I always went to as a kid.
well, I'm not sure. I think Melbourne has more than one mall now. I'm not.
What was it? Was it the one like Melbourne Square Mall? Do you remember if that was, it was called that?
Yeah, and it was an older mall. Had a movie theater that later closed down, I believe. Uh, yeah. Oh man, that was a good time to be in Florida. But I imagine it's gotten bigger now, like this
Yeah.
whole area. But yeah, because I went to Jupiter Elementary School, I think, in Palm Bay,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and Southwest Junior High in Palm Bay, Melbourne and Mel High and West Melbourne. Melbourne was huge. Melbourne's a huge place,
It
and
really is. Yeah.
from like I think all the way like 30 miles inland to Melbourne Beach. Like it's
Yeah.
like does being from that area like inform your? Would you say it informs your sound, or do you make music in spite of the area?
I would say in spite of. I feel like a lot of more of like my sound probably comes from like what I listen to in the area. But because I feel like a lot of the music I listen to doesn't sound like East Coast like Florida music.
Yeah, I get that.
But also I don't really know what that means.
I don't know. I always had like an idea to do a podcast where I just call random people at random parts of the world and be like, "Hey, what's the temperature right now? What time is it for you?"
What temperature is it where you are?
Oh, it is in the 30s. It snowed today.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it didn't stick, but it was like in the upper 30s. But yeah, it's been frustrating because I actually bought a snowblower with my Christmas bonus, and I haven't been able to use it. Like literally twice before I bought my snowblower. There was like days where it like came down like more than a foot at a time, and ever since I bought it, I haven't been able to use it. But I do remember the days when I lived in Florida. Like I had to wake up like 6 o'clock to mow the lawn because if you waited like till like noon, you're gonna just die in the sun. Like
Yeah.
it is it is punishing like doing any yard work
The
and
summer sucks.
yeah and the love bugs.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah. God, I do not miss that. Oh, mosquitoes, love bugs and shit, and not to mention scorpions and spiders and all that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh man, and a big ass ant hills. Oh god,
Yeah, the bugs around here don't fuck around.
no, they don't. They do not. Like I don't think I've bought like insect repellent since I lived in Ohio. And we always had like a constant supply of insect repellent. I remember the feeling of it getting in your eyes and it burned a little bit. Oh man, yeah, those were the days. That was my childhood. And but yeah, the hurricanes are not necessarily fun at all.
Yeah.
I actually missed the lightning. I missed the actual like lightning of the storms because we don't get storms up here. It just rains.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like it's just water coming down from the
Huh.
sky. It's not like a big event, you know. Like
Interesting.
me and my little sister used to look out the window when it rained and just like look at the lightning and everything.
Yeah.
And, like when we moved up here, I'm like, oh shit, it's raining. We got a show. No, we don't. It's boring as hell. You know, but very rarely we get like snow lightning. We get like like a snowstorm that's actually like lightning outside. It's really weird.
Weird, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember listening to this. I'm like, this is not a Florida album at all. But I guess neither is like some of like Knife Punch's stuff like that. Like, but it's not what I associated with Florida, and I think it's really cool. I liken your style to like Deftones records. You know, the way you kind of like write in the in the mysterious realm. You know, you're not very literal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's I mean that's definitely from my influences. Like not like just like writing like that in that style.
And I do appreciate that. That's something I think is hard to. I think some musicians find hard to do is to write in either in a third person or just write in the mysterious and not necessarily like saying I did A, I did B. You know what I mean. Okay, so anything. Yeah, you definitely slow down on the second half. So anything. What's anything? What you have going on with anything?
Anything. So that's probably the oldest song on that record. Honestly, it's kind of like more of a happy song. I feel like it's like the most happy song on the record because it's like actually about like a positive situation. But that's just a song I really liked. I really liked the riff in it, and I really wanted like the whole like the first part to be soft and then to get like distorted in the other half, and then kind of just like I like couldn't like get the vocals right, so I was like, I'm just gonna throw autotune on this, and then I like really liked how the autotune sounded, so I just kept it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Man, and I love oil pastels. It sounds subterranean, almost like underwater.
Sure. Yeah.
And yeah, probably the slowest song on the record. One of your longer songs on the record, actually. And you're playing with like vocal effects on this. Is that correct?
On oil pastels.
Yeah.
I think that one's dry.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Hibiscus has auto-tune on it. Oh wait. Hold up. Can I listen to the song real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I think they did add like effects onto it, like when Daniel mixed it.
Oh, okay.
Hold up, let me mute myself. Yeah, it was like a delay.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. There's like a long ass delay on it.
Because it's a more intimate record than anything than most of the other songs on a record.
Yeah, that's probably like the one song that's like if it's like the most about something and like the person like that song is about like knew it was about them. So
Okay.
like, you know.
Well, sometimes you gotta get those things out there, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
because that's definitely how I create music. Is definitely like an emotional response to something, or like I just want to make something that sounds funky. But most
Yeah.
of the time, I'm in my feelings, and I'm just I come up here and do shit, you know. But Hibiscus, probably musically my favorite song on this record.
Yeah. I would same.
Well, and it's a very hopeful song, at least in my opinion. It's the longest. It's the longest song on the record. Um, but what was because it's not it's that it doesn't like linearly progress as loudly as the other ones. It's a very steady song. Well, what was with the change in like the change up in like how you attack this song as opposed to the others? Because this sounds more in tune with like something like that would be on April Showers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That song was definitely like me more like it's probably like the direction that like I would have wanted like the next music to go if I hadn't like done what I did with Lavender House. But I was just like I was listening to this band called Ruby Haunt a lot, and like they have a very similar vibe to how that song sounds. So it was just kind of me like ripping that band off, but like making it my own thing. But I was just like just want to like really like chill like almost like spacey kind of song, and that's what came out of it.
And it's a nice calm moment after like the range of emotions one just felt like it's like it like you literally feel like this is acceptance, and the other songs are like are like things that people go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a cool way to look at it.
Like yeah, this song is very it's a welcome end to a wide emotional palette. Now, as far as other things that you've done in the last year, you did the Halloween split. I was on it.
Yeah,
Superdestroyer was on it, and you have two songs on it.
yeah.
And I remember like thinking to myself for a while, like where the fuck is Funeral Homes? and and you released by my side like on a short Twitter video, and I was getting really excited about it because it was like, okay, this is loud, this is distorted, this is shoegazy. I really, really, really like this.
Yeah,
And very lyrically minimal. Like it's very much in your wheelhouse that I first heard you in. Could you just explain that return to form?
so I feel like that kind of music is definitely like the music I've always wanted to make. Just love like the sound of that kind of shoegaze and stuff like that. Um, so I like recently got into My Bloody Valentine. So I was just like, I want to make a song like one of these songs with like the crazy ass fucking distortion they have and the like weird effects and stuff. So I just kind of like I like took my reverb pedal and fucked with it to make it sound like how they kind of their like thing is, and then I just threw like my fuzz on and like just did that. And just I like was just playing it, and those were like the words that came to my head too. I I feel like lyrically like they like are like also like these two songs are both actually about things. They're about like my situation this year, like things that I've gone on. But they are still like vague, you know. But yeah.
Yeah, Before You Leave is probably like if not the best song the label's released last year. One of the best was.
Thanks.
I remember, like I don't know if you ever listened to Portishead, but Porter said they do like one album like every like I think between their latest album, I think Porter said 3, and the one before that was like 50, it was an insane amount of time. And there's a few songs on there that is like, okay, this is worth waiting like 8 years for, you know. And Before You Leave is a song that's well worth like waiting 10 months to hear.
True.
Funeral Homes again. And like I heard it, I couldn't wait to remix it, and I remixed it, and like it was just I don't know, I really do appreciate that song. Could you explain what went into that song before you
Oh
leave?
yeah. I wrote that song probably like at the beginning of this year. Um, uh, I was just kind of like going back into like my old sound with that song. That was the first song I wrote. I wrote that before By My Side. That was kind of like what started me going back into shoegazy stuff. Was writing that because I just feel like that kind of like fit the vibe better. Even though that song is kind of like less like spacey, it's just kind of like still has like a dreamy vibe, I feel like. And I just like this song came super naturally to me. I was like, it was the first song I written in a really fucking long time. Like I had a really bad writer's block before that, and that just like I just wrote that, and I was like, damn, this is sick. Um, and then like I didn't do anything for months, and I was like, shit, I need songs for this split, and I was like, wait, this song was really fucking good. Why didn't I use it? So then I used it.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you finally throw the distortion on like halfway through, that's
Yeah.
like that floored me. That really surprised me. Like, oh shit, we have shit like this in our fucking chamber. Like, like it really, really like surprised me how good it really is. You know?
Thanks.
Yeah, and I heard it after I made my submissions. I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna have my 2 songs be by these 2 songs. You know, like, oh, so good, so good. You know,
The whole
uh,
EP is really good. That split was sick.
yeah, man, and plus, like, I think I'm not I'm not entirely sure, but I believe like Lonely Ghost started with, you know, like Super Destroyer, Father of the Year, you Hacker, and I believe I was the last signee. Um, when we first like got off the ground. You
Yeah.
know, the original 5, as I like to call it, and from where we started to where we are now, like the progression of how far we come is like really apparent in our last Halloween split.
Definitely. Yeah. Especially since like the first one we did together was us three, like the first Halloween split.
Yeah, it was us 3. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, like 2 years ago or whatever.
Yeah, man, it's really not that long of a time, but it seems like a long time.
For
Like,
real, yeah.
it's like,
Me and Super Destroyer talked about that whenever we like we were like talking about doing the song, or like I think whenever I sent them the songs. But yeah,
but yeah, like oh, we've come a long way from when we first like when I signed my first contract with the label, and man, yeah, our first Halloween split to this one, and I think the first Halloween split actually has like my highest like streamed song on it, even though I don't necessarily like that song that much, but you live and learn. So what's next for Funeral Homes? What is on the horizon for you?
okay, so probably I just need to write more. I'm just starting to write again. Like after like those last 2 songs, I've definitely been having like more like trouble writing, but I do have some stuff. I got a bunch of riffs I've been working on that are like more on the shoegazy realm of stuff. I got some new pedals, so I'm gonna experiment a lot more, Um just I think I have like an EP for like one more thing to do, so I'm gonna try to get some songs together for that, and then probably do an album after that. I have this concept I want to do for one. So
you take as much time as you need, because you're all. I shouldn't say all 67. That's like English term, but like you're batting 1,000 as far as I'm concerned. You know, but thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Tellin with Ellen. I love that name.
It's sick.
Yeah, it is. It is like this podcast came together very quickly. So like,
yeah, whenever I saw like the announcement for it, I was like, this is so cool. Like, this is definitely something that we need.
Yeah, and I think it's important that like if people want more information about a particular record, they can go find it. You know, in like a 40-minute podcast that they can sit through it. But because I do that all the time. Like if I'm cleaning my house, like I have a podcast on like 3 screens on my house.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like this. I like your music. Like Lavender House is still something that I listen to. You know, at least especially at work. You know, I definitely throw it on while I'm doing stuff. Definitely bangs while I'm doing COVID tests. So, but yeah, it's a landmark album that's pretty much sparked the productivity that we are still like on heavily right now. Like I don't think we've gotten more than like 2 months without releasing a record since Lavender House came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, thanks for the music. It's beautiful. Like it really is.
Thanks.
All right. Well, you have a good night.
You too.
All right. Thank you.